cultures sharing one message of strength and hope for all Canadians. Joining us in solidarity are the People's Assembly of Newfoundland and Labrador and Occupy Newfoundland. Thank you so much for your support. We are also honored to have joining us today President of the Newfoundland Labrador Federation of Labour, Ms. Lana Payne and Sheila O'Leary, City of St. John's Councillor at Large, and member of the Hollywood Mi'kmaq Band. Our core intention today is to bring awareness, education, and healing. I Will No More is unifying First Nations people of Canada to speak out about the effects of colonialism on Aboriginal autonomy, and more specifically, the recent changes in federal legislation. What many Canadians don't know is that much of our land that contains Canada's rich resources is First Nations territory. Colonialism facilitated the takeover of these lands, disenfranchising First Nations peoples and allowing oil, forestry, and mining companies to claim these rich resources for their own profit. Bills like S6 and C428 make changes to the Indian Act that further erode Indigenous sovereignty. The Canadian Constitution upholds the rights of Indigenous people affirmed in the treaties. Within the treaties signed by the Crown, Aboriginal people ought to be recognized as sovereign nations which have the right to their own autonomy. Not only has this never been the case, these legislative changes claw back much of the progress that has been made or promised. Further, they push more responsibility onto the provinces, relieving the federal government of accountability. The passing of Bills C45 and C38, both huge omnibus bills, collectively changed over 110 distinct pieces of legislation with little or no opportunity for proper debate. These changes destroyed safeguards that kept resources development in check, further opening our landscape to damaging resource projects that continue to toxify our waterways, leaving many Aboriginal communities vulnerable to cancer and other ailments. The most known example is that changes to the Navigable Waters Protection Act, which removes environmental red tape so that now only 62 rivers and 97 lakes from previously over 2 million are protected from becoming tailing ponds or succumbing to other similar damage refining processes.
No more!
Shame.
The Creator gave us, the people of this land, the duty to protect it. Now we are reclaiming this duty and asking for your help. A young Salish woman told a story that when her mother was a girl, they had a saying, when the tide was out, the table was set. How many of you now would not hesitate? How much garbage do you see on your shorelines? Water is our most precious gift and the giver of all life. As well as this legislation, we are looking to promote awareness regarding the state of crisis that First Nations communities are facing day to day. We hope to promote unity, putting a stop to stereotypical views that come with being First Nations. Since this movement has started, our biggest challenge has been racism. We have felt a lot of support in our community, but are quickly coming to the realization that there are a lot of people out there who are openly racist towards First Nations people. We ask that you open your hearts to a new understanding, a new way of looking at the world that recognizes that we are deeply connected and dependent on one another. When one community suffers, all communities suffer. We stand together today, unified with people from across Canada and the world. We will not stand idly by while the Harper government exploits our natural resources for the sake of monetary gain. We are all Canadians, and the issues we are facing need to be taken seriously by all Canadians, all citizens of Mother Earth. It is time for our nation to heal and be restored to a whole. We have been divided for too long. Today's demonstration is just one small step in the right direction for First Nations people everywhere. We come together for a new understanding between Native and non-Native people. Thank you.